Point Central. Wow. I feel so Sigma. Oh my god. Get to the fucking duel. Okay. Sure, let's just... Dude, that was... I... That literally... Dude, hold on. I gotta even pause and talk about that. Like, what the heck? Um... Literally a million things could have gone wrong there. And I was I think at the beginning of the attempt, I said, "Oh my god, can I just get to the duel?" That was my consistency today. That was my second time past 50, or yeah, second time past 50, and I just nail it. You don't need that many attempts at the end to do this, and you just need a little bit of luck, dude. Peak, peak. I don't actually have a transition to say for the next level, but super probably level. Oh my god, dude. Jesus. Not even gonna say anything. just, it's as easy as that. It's actually as easy as that. What the hell was that? It's as easy as that! I wasn't even that nervous! I was, like, completely fine! Probably because my attempt before was a 72, but, you know, that's fine. I'm done Zodiac! It's as easy as that! What the heck? That's insane, dude. And I leveled up. Hey, let's go. Oh, and I got like a blue thing now. That's cool. Attempts. Now I gotta pull up my calculator. It's the only extreme in this video that I'm doing a attempt calculator for. I think I know the others, and I'll just like put them in the description. But like, this is important. So, 3,059 plus 13,134 equals 16,193 attempts. Not the best Zodiac completion attempt count that I've ever seen, but certainly not the worst. Worst? Did I say worse? What is wrong with me? So I've been beefing with Pure L this entire time because he started playing Zodiac, and I was like, wait, I'm catching up. Maybe I'll beat it before him. Okay, so I still don't. Oh, hold on, let's check to see if he's beaten it yet. So yeah, that's Zodiac. I have no motivation to ever play something harder than this. I want to do Edge of Destiny. That'd be nice, but Edge of Destiny's really freaking hard. I don't know if you knew that. So, well, you know, we'll see when I get around to that. Bye-bye. Weekly uploads from now on. I shouldn't say that, ever. I'm gonna upload weekly from now on, every Thursday. I'm gonna upload a video. Okay? That's gonna be the deal. Definitely. Alright, bye-bye. Okay, it's the time everyone's been waiting for. We're updating the tier list finally. It's been, what? Freaking... God, how long has it been since I, so it puts something here. I guess Eon, because, that was January. Then I came back, and then I stopped. Came back later. But, I put the other levels on, like, as I beat them. Put Molten Gear on E, because it freaking sucks. Molten Gear is... The entirety of the level's difficulty is in the last 30% of the level, and most of that difficulty is in the last 20% of the level. By the end, I was literally getting to the very end almost every single attempt. And that's not a bad thing, per se. That means the level's consistent. But it's also just... It wasn't like, oh, I'm getting to the end of every attempt and then I just beat it. Like, no, it was, I'm getting to the end of every attempt and I'm dying between 80 and 100. Like, that's awful. But yeah, so there's a Molten Gear EE tier. Second worst extreme I've played. Even though I was still having a hell of a fun time with it. That's just because this game's a fun game. So, next up was WoW, which I put in A. I think it, like, as a level, I don't think it deserves to be an A. I think it's kind of problematic in a lot of senses. There's a lot of bugs with 2.2. You can die randomly at 82. You can die randomly going into, like, the upside-down straight fly at the very beginning. And there's literally nothing you can do about those. I turned off CBF because because it would make the bugs happen less frequently. And by less frequently, I mean it went from like 90% chance of them happening to like 20%. Not even 20%, like 10%. So I only ended up dying to the final bug once. But yeah, that was a pretty fun level. Mostly because it's just fast pressing and music sync, and you feel awesome when you do it at first. Like, when you do it in practice mode the first time, you feel great, because there's, like, these long sections that you just nail every single time, because they're easy, and they're completely sync-based. But there's a lot of nuance that you learn. But yeah, WoW is a good level. Sigma is a super good level, only dragged down by the fact that the like 5% to 10% sucks ass, and you have to do it every single run. And you just die randomly to like the blue orb at 8, and it's just like awful. But the rest of the level is super good, and most people get unlucky with this level, but I fluked it from 81, so that's nice. Middle of S tier I think is pretty solid for it. Flappy Dynamix 2, I was gonna put it higher because it's like genuinely a really good level. Problem is, I spent 3 hours on my final day playing this, being like actually the second day playing it. And it was 3 hours of doing nothing but like brain farting. Like I just did 3 hours of brain farting from 0 until I beat it. I felt like nothing that I did was like, it wasn't a fault of the level being bad. It wasn't a fault of like my skill. I just wasn't freaking beating it. Because I just kept, like, my brain was like mush. I don't know. I kept forgetting where to go. What do you even call it? It was so awful. But then I beat it. I had to learn 2-player controls because of the part literally on this thumbnail. I had to learn 2-player in order to beat that part. And what a rough experience that was. It was like, out of the 3,000 attempts the level took me, 1,000 of those were just learning that. I think that I'm right with those attempts. Check the description if I completely messed that up. Anyways, it's time for the final level for me to rank. And that's Zodiac. Where am I putting Zodiac? So, this level is, first of all, let's just, it's really freaking good. We're gonna put it like here. Zodiac is an insanely good level, dragged down by some slight balancing problems, and the fact that it's hard to like truly enjoy this level when you're playing it, especially as a hardest. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was fun, but it has flaws like TMN being way too hard. The only day I was consistent at it was today, the day I beat it. Like 59 is just not, it's not acceptable in a level. There should be no part in a level where you just get there and it feels like you are stuck in a wall and you have to roll a dice to pass it. Like that's what it felt like. Other parts of interest were like Shock City, and Shock City is a part that everyone talks about, and it's like, oh, second hardest part of the level easily. I don't think it's as like, I don't think it's like the set in stone second hardest part of the level. There were so many hard parts from 38 to 100 that were just like absolutely brutal. It kept killing me. This was like the #1 experience I've had with like the whack-a-mole effect, where you get super consistent in one part and then the other part just like disappears, and then you have to go hammer that part down, and then you have to go hammer this part down because that part just popped up and I can't do it anymore. And because the level is 3 minutes long, 3.5 minutes long, and there's so many hard parts, it's so easy to just do that. The only day I felt like every part was just nailed down was the final day in which I beat it. And that's kind of what you need when you're playing Zodiac. It's a great level, though. Yeah. I remember when in my Ragnarok video I was talking about how you're going into, like, I talked about how you're going to Enlex, and it's like, oh, the hardest part, like, one of the hardest parts of the level is, like, right at the end. No, it's not. The entirety of the difficulty is carried from, like, 38 to 66. It's like the entire level. And then Penuto, which I died to once. So yeah, that's my tier list for now. There's a lot of levels. Zodiac was my 35th Classic Extreme. And then there's like Tower 22 and The Abyss, I guess. But those don't count. No one cares about platformers. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.